Here's my light review of the Olight PL-3R. So a bit of background. Last year I reviewed the Olight PL-3 and I honestly did not give it a very good review. So fast forward to April and Olight announces the new PL-3R. I find out about it just like everybody else on the internet. Usually Olight gets me an advanced sample within 1 or 2 weeks before launch, so we can make sure that we've got holster fitment for them if we're going to have holster fitment, and so that we can do some reviews. This year they were silent. I even sent Olight an email asking, hey, did you forget about me? I'd like to continue a relationship so that we can support the appropriate Olight products at launch with holsters. And I got no response. So if you think Olight should be sending us samples so that we can test, please leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. So now we've got the Olight PL-3R, and it is essentially a PL-3, but instead of having removable batteries, it's got a charging port, and Olight says that it will remember settings from one use to the next. I think it remembers, but then there's been at least once or twice where I turned it on expecting high, I got low. I don't know. Maybe it has to do with when I go ahead and charge it. Maybe there's a reset. Okay, I just charged it for a second. Let's see if it's on high. No, it's on low. Ha! I think it has to do with when you charge it up. I don't know. It's still switching back and forth for me. Go figure. Anyway, it's supposed to remember the setting. So the other thing this light is supposed to have is more lumen output. It's supposed to have 1500 versus the 1300 of the previous version. Runtimes that don't care, and it has less candela at just over 10,000 candela versus the 12,500 that the previous version, the Olight PL-3, was supposed to have. And of course, you know, I'm going to give you data on it. So first off, here's the full lumen chart. The PL-3R drops off within about 45 minutes. Now let's take a look at the first 10 minutes. The Olight PL-3R has like 1,774 lumens. That's pretty smoking good. And it has it for almost a minute. Of course, you know that the FL1 specs say, hey, if you're going to advertise lumens, you should advertise what the average is from 30 seconds to 2 minutes. And I did that math, and it is 1,385 lumens. Does it reach Olight's claim of 1,500 lumens? No, but it's pretty good, and it does have a max lumen output of 1,774. And both those numbers are significantly up compared to the previous PL-3. So that's good. I like that, and if you're gonna be running this for 10 minutes, which is most of the time what we're gonna be doing, it's got significantly better output in the first 10 minutes than the previous PL-3. Now runtime, on the other hand, is lower with the PL-3R. It gives us about 45 minutes. It looks like this light just dropped off. It decided to stop producing output at a certain point in time, right about 47.5 minutes, and it was done. So some lights continue to try to eke out a little bit of output, even down into the teens or single digit lumens. This light doesn't seem to want to do that, and that's fine, really. Most of the time you're not going to need more than 45 minutes worth of output. Now candela, on the other hand, was stronger. I got 10,690 instant candela, so that's without running it at all. And then ANSI Plato specs say, hey, you should run it for 30 seconds and then start measuring. And the max candela I got there was 10,500. Pretty good candela output, actually. CRI and color temperature were both actually pretty good. For light quality, CRI and color temperature are a couple of the key measurements. This light has 72.5 on the CRI, which is pretty good. This one is a little bit warmer at 5,500 Kelvin. I like that. So far, the lumen output's okay, the candela output's okay, the runtime's not really terrible, and it is rechargeable. It does have Olight's nifty rail key mechanism, which I think is probably going to help a lot of people out, and I think it's pretty darn solid. So I think that with that clamp there, it's going to make it really solid. The light is just slightly smaller than the TLR1, which is kind of a good reference point. It is slightly smaller and slightly lighter. The TLR1 HL is one of the benchmarks here, and it really is kind of the light to beat. I'm not sure if the PL-3R beats it, but it doesn't do a bad job. So I have this Olight PL-3R mounted up to the Canik Rival S, and I have here our brand new M6 outlier for the Olight with the modern pistols. And you can see that that fits in there great. It's got very little movement and it has good trigger coverage. Go ahead and mount your Olight up to just about any modern pistol, and we've got a holster for you. Here's the Olight PL-2 on a Strike 1. Here's the Olight Balder Pro on a Springfield XDM Elite. That fits really nicely on that. Let's go even weirder. Here's the Ruger 5.7 with the Olight PL-3. This is the non-rechargeable version. That fits up well as well. So in summary, this little light brings you the recharging that you love. Still doesn't have the throw lever. Does have a nifty sliding rail attachment thing. And it does give you over 650 lumens for over 30 minutes. That's not so bad. Candela output is not bad either, over 10,000. The light output quality is actually pretty good. And as I see other companies racing to have higher and higher output, it's nice to see somebody actually trying to make a good quality output on the light. And you know, Olight's build quality is actually pretty solid. I can't knock them on that. Finally, this light's supposed to remember whether you left it in high mode or low mode. I have just minutes ago verified at least one instance where it did not do that. The problem is you don't want to end up in a confrontation and be like, hey, who are you in my garage? Oh, hey, I can't see. Oh, wait a minute, now I switched to low mode. Oh, hey, now I'm back in high mode. You don't want to be doing that when you're under a stressful situation. Which mode am I in? Oh no, I can't, goodness, no. So hopefully your light, if you bought one of these, is going to stay in the mode for you so that you can always get high mode. If you actually think that there's a real valid use for low mode, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what that is. And don't tell me it's because I'm going to be walking around my house and shining this into a mirror and now blinding myself, because that's not how you do it. So I talked about the light remembering which setting it was in as maybe a positive if it actually works. In my case, it's kind of negative because I think it's supposed to work, but I've verified at least once that it didn't. In addition, side switches are not my favorite. So let me know what you think of this review. Leave a comment down below. And remember, dark times call for light-bearing holsters. Thank you and have a blessed day.